to 10 because it's really a 20-second countdown.
That's a hell of a countdown, Dave.
Okay, so we're live?
Presumably.
Okay. We are live here for season 2, episode 9 for Deep Space Nine at 9
ish,
called Second Sight, which aired in 1993. We are forever stuck in 1993, but we will eventually get out one day.
So I was saying.
But we are here to talk about Fenna and Cisco and all things Professor Sciatech and flying a shuttlecraft into a star, and how good of an idea that is. Okay. First thoughts on this episode, guys. We'll kind of go around the horn here. Do you like this episode? Do you hate this episode? Are you indifferent? Start with me. We're gonna start with Jaemeel.
What the hell is this episode? Seriously, this episode is so weird. Like no one is like actually acting rational at all. Maybe Dax-ish, right? Jake seemed like he had a semblance of like an idea of what was going on, but like, oh my gosh, like you down the list, Cisco. I don't know what he was thinking. Fenna, Nadal. Dr. Know-It-All who didn't know it all, right? Like, I don't know. I was really frustrated with this. I was like, what the fuck? Like, through the entire episode, like, do people, like, live in reality? Like, conversations would just end, and not because they disappear, they literally just turn around and walk away, not like, this is the end of the conversation, or I say something, and I just turn around and walk away. This is how this episode went. I was confused.
Okay, Dave, were you confused? Can you make light of this episode? Did it make sense to you? Was it a good Star Trek episode for you?
I would say no, on all counts, Jeff. I would say that this was not a good Star Trek episode. I thought that this was didn't have a lot of redeeming qualities whatsoever. So, I think that the things that I liked about it, the rest of you will find trivial and meaningless. So therefore, this is not so much a thing I can say a lot of good things about. It a little bit of development maybe here with Cisco Dax in the slightest ways, a little bit with Jake and Cisco, Ben Cisco, in the father-son relationship, a little bit. Not a lot, like it's not as here, but and Dad thinks that this is a great discussion, but this is no original series. Hey, that's Wednesday night. Leave Tuesday night alone here with Deep Space Nine, and Wednesday.
He hasn't even watched it. He forgive him for what he does. He knows not what he does.
Yeah, well, like here, I was pining for an original series episode tonight, even a so original series episode. Yeah, like not something I enjoyed overly.
Okay, Kevin, how many words do you have to say about this? Do you have a novel to write, or is it going to be short and sweet?
I have one word. Why? 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 I don't hate this episode. It's fine, I guess, but why? Why did we have this episode?
Why what? Why
at the end of this episode? Why? Like what?
Why is Cisco in love with a projection ghost?
How is he in love? He's not in love.
She's in love.
She's not in love.
She says she was in love.
She said a lot of things.
You watched this episode, Dad, once or twice? I don't think you did.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why he likes original series better. Because he watched this episode once or twice and just went, why? Why would I watch that?
That's why. Yeah. He just not like you, Kevin. He just went, why?
Mr. Mater, you have to watch Move Along Home. That will lock you into DS9.
Yeah, right. You'll never turn back. Okay, so I guess it's back to me. I kind of enjoyed parts of this episode. I enjoyed Cisco a little bit, but I also found him a little weird because I didn't really understand like he, the whole thing is like, okay, it's the It's the anniversary of Wolf 359. That's how they set up the episode. And it's been 4 years, and Cisco's been missing his wife, and he's getting a little. I think he's getting a little horny. I think that's kind of what he's saying at the beginning of the episode, right? Okay.
Yeah, he's thirsty. Bro's thirsty.
He's thirsty.
Is that what they're? No, I don't think that's what they're trying to say.
I think it's establishing that he's starting to get over the loss of his wife.
Right.
Because he says at the beginning of the episode, what bothers me most is that it passed almost without noticing that this anniversary.
Yeah, he's starting to move on.
Yeah.
Right. And he doesn't like it, but he knows he has to. And I think he's getting a little thirsty, and I think this girl just kind of like falls into his life, who's like the perfect girl, kind of a lot like his wife, right? So, and then it's a dream. It turns out to be kind of like this aberration.
How was she like Jennifer, though?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Just features.
Features, bro. Features.
He also said that he felt drawn to. They look alike. I think they kind of look alike.
Look alike.
No?
She's dark. That's what you're saying.
No. I think they just kind of like are similar. Like they.
Well, hold on. Let me see if I can get a comparison here. Okay.
Yeah, you throw both actresses up. You tell me they don't look alike.
Oh my god!
Actually,
what are you saying? They all look the same, Jeff.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, I think that about a lot of Asian people too, though. I mean, like that happens, right? Like like
Jeff, I don't know if you're helping your case.
Yeah.
Here, Jeff, take a shovel.
But
it's always better to double down than backpedal.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna dig.
To be fair to Jeff, how many like POC women have shown up on a station that I can remember, and I can't think of many at all.
Yeah.
I also feel like what's her name, Cassidy Yates, also kind of has a similar look to those. Like all three women, kind of have a similar look. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
They have the hair.
Because we're trying to get a sense of who's Ben Cisco's type, and is there a commonality?
It's a type. It's a type thing. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he has a type.
Yeah, I did have a moment during this episode where when they're all on the Prometheus and Bashir says to all of them, I find him charming. And they all just kind of look at him like,
well, of course you do.
Say?
Who gave you permission to speak?
I was like, wait a minute. Am I Bashir? Because I actually find this guy kind of charming as well.
You're like, he's the most interesting guy of the episode. He's actually trying. Yeah. The rest of you don't even seem like you want to be here this week. Not even Brooke.
So, okay, let's rewind to the beginning of the episode while Dave scrambles.
I'm almost done. I got them.
Kira's tipped off that something is up with Cisco because he got a different drink. What? Like, is this like? I would know he's a mirror universe Cisco because he didn't get a Racticino. I'm like, hold on.
It's like when Keiko solves the O'Brien didn't murder somebody because he had a coffee in the afternoon, and he never drinks coffee in the afternoon.
Okay, so
this is the same woman.
I know. This is not a side by side. This is the one from this episode.
You're right. They do look alike.
Right. Not dissimilar. I mean, like, I think he has a type. That's my point.
And then, of course, this is Cassidy Yates, who's not in the show yet at this point, but this is Penny. I forgot her last name right now.
Penny Johnston.
Johnson, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, Jeff.
They have hair. They have a similar complexion.
They kind of look alike enough to me that I feel like it was like I don't know. They casted the same a woman that kind of fit with Cisco, right? And I think all three women kind of fit with him and his type. You know, he's not like.
I think Jeff. I don't know. This is going your way right now.
Look, okay, Jeff.
It definitely is.
Jeff, I'm gonna agree with you in a certain sense. That they have a woman of a certain type that they have in mind for Cisco, right?
That's all I'm saying. That's it, yo.
I think that has
You're not a
more
Big
to
Brother
say about
fan,
the
or-
producers than actually the type for Cisco. It says more about the producers than anything.
Yes.
But
He's not dating like the nerdy librarian, like, you know, like he's not, you know, he's not like he seems to always kind of have like a certain like beautiful, kind of like Kirk had this, and Riker. They have,
Kirk's
like,
type was whatever woman was in his vicinity.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Even if the woman wasn't a woman, if it was an alien bug or something that was looking like a woman, he would still try to have sex with it.
what Kirk is like, Kirk is a smoother Jason Mewes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think Avery Brooks had any game in this episode. He was
Dude, he did at the beginning. He did have game.
You thought he was smooth there? You thought he was smooth?
He had
on that
had
promenade?
moments. You kind of see him getting his mojo back for a second. He had a couple lines there that were kind of good.
I wish, I wish we had a female on the panel tonight, or somebody
female. You should never say female. Female is a no.
Oh, okay. If they were on, they're not allowed to wear clothes.
We could talk afterwards. I'll bring you up to speed in current politics, right? But
bring me customs.
But like things that he said, like, why do you always say the right thing? And then she says some generic line. It's like, there you go again. I'm like, it's like a generic line. And he's like, everything you say is like the perfect thing. She should have said yabba dabba doo. It's like, look at you. You knew exactly what to do.
Yeah, I was just hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Yabba dabba doo.
I think the thing I was trying to get to is like we were talking like that was the anniversary of the Wolf 359, and he's thinking about how like you said, it came so quick, and then this like girl kind of like who seems like she's out of a dream, comes into like his world, and he seems drawn to this person. Correct?
Well, she looks like she's picking him up because he's just minding his own business, and she's like interjects with the captain of the commander. Sorry,
she's also dressed in like a ballroom dress and like is like decked out to the nines, and she's like ready to go. And it's just like she's like the epitome of like too good to be true, and like that's kind of like what this episode is to me. Like with Cisco, it's like he has like this too good to be true dream aberration thing, and he has to figure out the mystery, I guess. But that part's not very interesting.
I don't understand why this isn't a mystery though. Like they're on a space station. There's cameras, right? Just like use the camera. Like don't go to Odo. Use a camera. She's not Batman. It's not like she could just get up and run or just like jump to the first level of the promenade and hide from him. She literally disappears when he looks away.
Yeah, this was just kind of weird, and like just like even when he goes to Odo, Jeff, in this episode, and he's like Odo's like, okay, well, who is she? Where does she look like? And he has no answers, and like he's the commander of the space station. Does he not understand that him not having the answers to any of these questions was going to be what the hell is Odo going to do for you?
Odo should have asked him if he was high because he sounded high.
He seemed high. But he was like, oh, there's a love potion or something, right? But they don't establish that in the episode.
Also, did you notice? I don't know. I don't think he calls him Odo very often to his face, but he does in this instance. He says, thank you, Odo, but he usually says, thank you, Constable. He almost always calls him Constable.
He made it personal.
Yeah, it was very personal.
Right, because it was a personal nature because he was in love with the girl he met on the promenade for 2 seconds.
He didn't love her.
Well, he was apparently
he fell in love.
Infatuated. He was infatuated.
He was infatuated, and that's why when he walked into Odo's office, he was like that. Because he was weird. He was all like, Odo, got a favor to ask.
And then he's like, she was wearing red. Like, what? People don't wear red? Like, why are you making such a big deal about it? it seemed kind of creepy when he was saying that. Like,
Also, that should make her easy to find because people don't change, right? They never change their
Right.
clothes.
It also felt a little stalkerish, like, oh no, I need your help. I need to find this girl. I have no idea who she is, or I only know one name. Don't know if it's the first. Don't know if it's the first or last. Don't know who
what
she
race?
is or what. Yeah, what
Yeah.
race?
You couldn't look up in a database like based on the ear features.
But he fell in love. with
What
her.
I said was like, okay, how come they don't have a technology in the future like they have the police sketch artists, right? And they can describe like a suspect or whatever. Why can't you get that to describe like this kind of thing, like somebody you met, right? And just like, well, the nose was like this, and
Maybe
ears
it
were
wasn't concentrating too much on this.
Maybe you thought he was looking at her boobs. Is that what you're saying, Jaemeel?
I didn't say that. There's a lot to look at. Look at the flower, like the dress and how
The
it
dress,
flows.
the whole ensemble, the flow.
Right.
Yes.
But yes, the cleave was kind of presented in a way.
Right. What about Adele though?
Nadell?
Wasn't it Adele?
No, it's Nadell.
Nadell.
I was hearing Adele though. And
Well, you're wrong. It's Nadell.
Yeah.
Nadell.
I watched these shows with subtitles on. It was Nadell. It was
It
Nadell.
looked like a movie. You
Oh
talk
my
like a song.
Oh,
were
Dave.
you not hearing that through the whole thing? Or-
No, I
whatever,
was
it-
not. I was
every-
not.
every
You know
Adele-
this isn't a great episode because this went off the rails from the start.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yep. We're
So,
gonna pull this together. This is a serious podcast.
Yes, this is Deep Space Nine and Nine-ish.
nine-ish.
And
Nine-ish.
we're gonna carry on here talking about. We have a 3.5-year journey here, guys, talking about Deep Space Nine and everything that went on with every episode. Starting at the beginning, and the beginning it's a bit of a slog. These episodes are not. They really have no consequence later on in the series. Although I think they could have had a good one in this episode. I think if they had made Fena like a projection of the prophets, I think that would have made more sense.
As like a method of him moving on, like
yes. I think
They're
that would
nudging him along his linear existence along.
Yes, and like you know how like everything with the prophets, his whole life was like predestined, and they already knew like what was going to happen, and he was going to meet Jennifer, she was going to die, like he was going to meet Cassidy Yates, and the prophets were like, you shouldn't stay with Cassidy Yates, like that happens later, but they tell him that. So like
If the writers were also non-linear, they could have seen this, but they weren't there yet. So this is really just Cisco's rebound, basically after the death.
Yeah.
of his wife.
yes,
yeah.
That's all this is.
That's what this whole episode is about.
yes,
It's Cisco's rebound, the only thing we really care about, but it's also about two unhappy people finding each other. But then it falls flat. Like it could have been a really good episode, but it just
right.
I don't want to cut straight to the ending. Like a lot of my
Yeah.
earlier comments were due to the last conversation that they had, which was just utterly frustrating and nonsensical to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it would have been way
They should
better
have cut
had she.
that out.
I think it would have been way better had she not been in the coma and there was no astral projection, there was no mystery, but she was awake, and the guy was still gonna fly the shuttle into the sun, and he was gonna die, and then she was like kind of like torn between him and Cisco, and then like that would have been really interesting. I
He
think.
literally kills himself so that she can be free, and she does not seem like relieved or anything like that. She's like,
No.
"Well, I'm a widow, so I'm going back home."
Here's a question though: would he have? Because they did that whole thing with the Klingon poetry, "Don't slay all your enemies" kind of thing. Do you think he would have killed himself if he thought that there were more accomplishments to come? If this wasn't his crowning achievement, would he have done that for her in that scenario?
Of the little I know of this man, I will say yes. In terms, I think he was sincere in his gesture at the end.
I
he
think
was sincere, but
I think he's too narcissistic to
Yeah.
think that way. I think that his marriage is a failure that is constantly in his face, and he's at the brink of one of his greatest successes, up to date, mind you. And this has come around again. He seems more disappointed in the situation than anything. Is like, it's this again. She promised that it wouldn't happen again. Like, she promised that she wouldn't be so emotional distraught at how terrible I am as a husband, that she has an astral projection where she's trying to hook up with another guy or escape. Her mind literally wants to escape from the situation we're in. But I'm an awesome dude.
I think the redeeming characteristic of him, though, is that he does seem to take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
And not blame her.
He's like, I kind of suck, dude.
Yeah.
But question for
That's
you,
what I find endearing about him is that all throughout the whole thing, people hate him, but he acknowledges it all the way through. He's like, yeah, I'm a piece of work. Like, I am hard to get along with. Yeah. I'm hard to be around.
Okay, but Gideon Setlick is his name. The professor or terraformer or whatever he is.
Pitalik.
Yeah, he's like this genius guy. Why can't he leave her if he knows
made for life?
Huh?
Made for life.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
But that's her custom, not his.
Yeah, but she's still gonna hold to it.
So what? He can't get away from it? Like he's locked into?
He can leave her, but she's not gonna like stop.
He did leave her. He died.
Yeah.
Like
true.
Yeah, not true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good one, guys. Like, this is not one that stands out. This is not one you want to go back and rewatch. Really,
it doesn't even really like. It's supposed to try and develop Cisco a little bit, but it doesn't. It doesn't.
It's a throwaway episode.
So wait, she mates for life, her life. So even if he dies, she's not free. She's like, I'm going home to be a widow. Like, that's basically
and that was like her happiness. That was like her retirement. She was like, "Great, this is awesome."
What happiness? Did she look happy at the end of the episode?
In the least.
She's like, I wish I could remember. Like, she seemed remorseful that she couldn't have that kind of joy that Fenna had. And then what was she like? She's just like you. Great. I could have that enjoyment and that love, but I can't. I'm gonna be a widow and like I can't hook up with anyone else. So this conversation's over. Bye. Peace. Turn around, leave. No goodbye, no nothing. Just leaves.
I think he killed himself just to get out of this marriage, really, with Adele.
He could have just like faked a transporter like death. Like, he's smart enough. It's not like
I think he might have faked his death here. Who knows? We don't know what the hell he did. It's possible he did.
You see him in the bridge, like hiding in the corner.
I would have like if they brought this guy back. He was played by Richard Kiley, who died in 1999. So I guess they can't bring him back. But yeah, he was in this episode. He was great.
Only interesting character in this entire.
He's just fun. He's like, "Hello, I am the greatest, smartest man in the Federation, and I designed the great."
He reminds me of the teacher in like Community who's like so overtly over the top. He's like, "I'm gonna have for lunch a birthday cake. Seize the day, Jeff Winger."
Yes,
like,
yes. I'm overly enthusiastic about this.
Yeah, he is.
All over the place.
Oh, Jody.
Yeah,
he might be the only good part of the episode. You're right.
Hit it with Jody's message. How does it reset his character? He's exactly the same as before.
Well, it's supposed to, but I don't think it succeeds.
Yeah, it's an unsuccessful attempt.
It's supposed to say like, that Cisco
he's moving on.
Came on this. Yeah, the Cisco that first came on the station that was kind of like pining over his dead wife. He's kind of like. He's getting over the dead wife.
Has he mentioned Jennifer? Like, has he made a big deal about Jennifer in any episode since like the pilot?
Nope.
No.
Hasn't really even touched on it all.
So, yeah, your dead wife. Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened. It's the Wolf 359 day, and he was like, "Oh crap! Yeah, she has been dead 4 years."
So Dave was talking about the character development of Dax and Cisco. It's like, sorry, we can't have the man-to-man talk because I'm a woman now.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. I just think that I was looking for anything to like about this episode, and that just like their little laugh there when they kind of break the ice was the only thing I ha ha ha. Yeah, I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess. And that was kind of it. Like I wasn't really buying it, I wasn't into it. Like, here, do you want? I'll tell you what I did like about it. If you want to just know the redeeming things.
Hit me with it, Dave.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Okay,
Me, baby, one more time.
Well, I thought it was just interesting once we got on board the Prometheus, right? And then there was Lieutenant Commander Purcell, who was the clearly he was a staff captain, commanding officer of a ship, So that was kind of interesting to see. Like,
He
still
was a goober.
he's a goober, but yeah, it's a goober ship, I guess, is what this is, right? So it's perhaps the lower decks of it's the Cerritos of 2370 before 23. This is 10 years before that, so
Omega shift.
this is the Omega shift, yeah. And their job is to, get this guy around and bring Mr. whatever his name was, Gideon
Captain
Settler.
Sunrisa.
Isn't that
So-
cool?
Yeah.
Sure.
But even when he was the bridge officer, but then when Cisco walked in, he was like, "Listen, man, I'm taking over. I know you're in the chair, but I'm kind of running. I outrank you, and I'm not even a captain." So, yeah, so he's like, "I order you to stop," and he's like, "No." He's like, "Okay," and then
Why did he look to lock the tractor beam earlier? Like Cisco has to mention it. I'm like, bro, he's trying to kill himself. That's one of Starfleet's greatest mind. You save him from himself.
I think Cisco would have given up just as easily if Bashir had been flying into a sun too.
Please don't. There's nothing we could do.
right. Well, Jody's here saying that Cisco's wife is dead now. He's got to mac the ladies, and I do have a thought on that because they have this period here where they're trying. This is the beginning of before Cassidy Yates comes along, when they're trying to make Avery Brooks and Cisco sort of this sex appeal character more so than Picard had been. It never really works. It never lands. He goes to the mirror. We'll see. He'll go to the mirror universe, and a bunch of stuff's going to happen where Avery Brooks is going to try to be more of this suave romantic guy. Maybe you were digging it, Jaemeel. I wasn't digging it.
Look, I wasn't digging anything. Okay.
Hey, why would you ask Jaemeel?
Well, he said earlier he was feeling. He thought
I was just saying that he was breaking out some moves. I didn't say I was feeling it. There was no
you said,
feeling.
I think if you're saying that if you're calling him moves, I think that's an indication of feeling. A little bit of feeling.
Game recognizes game, bro. Game recognizes game.
You think they were trying to make Cisco have more sex appeal? They failed miserably through the entire show.
I know. I agree. Even when Cassidy Yates comes along, and he has okay, well, he's got a steady thing with Cassidy. You're like, well, then the whole thing happens with her. But then, yeah, it never really works. I don't think because we'll see. Is it this season where they all want to have sex with each other and they're all kissing each other in that one episode, or is that next season? I don't remember. But
The Love Potion number 9 episode.
Yeah, the Love Potion episode.
Number 9. Let's be honest. Love Potion number 9 episode.
Yeah, Love Potion number 9, Deep Space Nine at 9-ish. Yep.
Okay,
right.
let's acknowledge. Let's acknowledge
Number
Cassidy.
9.
Number 9. Okay.
So why my problem with this episode is it doesn't lead to Dax trying to hook Cisco up with a ton of ladies. There should have been there should have been an entire run of episodes where Dax just lines up women, right? Because that's his inside man, woman, right? Is Dax. Dax is yo, bro, you gotta hit it. And I got the ladies lined up.
I have a question.
I think actually that Curzon would have done that, but Dax just fucks them all for herself.
Right.
Should have been. Sorry, man. You can't even get my leftovers. I clean my plate. Clean the plate.
I have a question regarding Fenna. You know how when Dax uses the tricorder and he's like, "Oh, this is pure energy. It's not. There's no cellular structure. It's not a person, right?" So my question is, if Cisco puts his dick into pure energy, what is the effect?
Feel like it feels great.
I bet it feels great.
Yeah, it's gotta feel good.
I think it would be like going into the battery or something, like licking a battery, sort of akin to that, right?
Okay.
How does that feel like, Dave?
Well, have you ever licked a battery?
I'm asking you. You had the very distinct like explanation and details about it. How does it feel?
Well, it just gives you a little buzz, right? And but it's just,
Are you feeling that buzz?
I don't know. I'm speculating what it would be like. I'm not feeling anything.
This is so great. I love this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but there was nothing really else, Jeff, that was redeeming.
Well, that was my question. Was mostly about the energy,
the battery,
and battery.
I feel cheated out of a Wedding Crashers episode of Dax and Cisco. Right, just chase and trim.
I would have
Like
liked
an
more
entire
flashbacks, because we saw last week that they will do flashbacks. Why can't we see Curzon and young Cisco and what they actually did together?
I think it was more the same, which is Curzon getting busy and Cisco being his staying at the bar watching Curzon getting on.
Yeah.
And Curzon just hitting everything that moves. Curzon Kirk would be like, "Really? I have standards." Curzon's like, "No, everything."
Cisco's not the dating around kind. Cisco tries to marry every woman he's interested in.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like he gets serious quick. He's from New Orleans, he's traditional. He's
Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
Like an old Southern
he's
boy.
a church-going guy,
Church-going guy. Believes in the prophets.
Believes in the prophets.
So like Commander and Ops, Hawk in the bed. I don't know.
He probably likes grits, some nice grits in the morning.
Grits.
Yeah.
Jambalaya, like some jambalaya and gumbo.
Do they eat grits in
Jambalaya.
New Orleans? I don't know.
Probably. They might eat grits.
No. I think it's jambalaya and gumbo.
Well, that's not for breakfast.
Who says? Who are you to judge the New Orleans palate?
I mean, I would eat it for breakfast.
I think you should call up a restaurant in New Orleans and go, "Do you serve jambalaya for breakfast?" They go, "Yeah,
Fact
we
check.
do, sir."
We did a fact check, please.
Yes. It's fact.
There's important facts.
It's important. We need to know if we can get jambalaya at 9:30 in the morning in New Orleans.
Somewhere, I'm sure you can.
I think it might even be a law that you have to be able to get jambalaya.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's base facts then. In Montreal, can you get a poutine at 9:00? Poutine.
Mhm.
In
Sure.
the morning, I
Somewhere.
believe so.
Probably.
Yeah, so
It's
jambalaya.
pretty.
Not everywhere. It's not a universal. He would have to.
You would know where to go.
You'd have to know.
Okay.
Oh, remember that place we went to, Dave, in Montreal? It was like 3 in the morning. And
Yeah, but if you were just dropped randomly in New Orleans, I don't know if you'd find the place with the jambalaya. in the
Yeah, you
morning.
would.
Probably would.
It's like, yeah, you would.
I've never even been there, but I'm pretty sure you could ask around and it'd take about 12 minutes to find a place that had
Where's
jambalaya.
Where is Avery?
They probably have it ready for you already.
Where is Avery Brooks actually from? Like, is he from the South? Like, is he?
Avery Brooks is from Indiana, I believe.
Indiana.
Which
Yeah.
is where Catherine Janeway's from.
Right.
So wait, so Catherine Janeway got a statue. Where's Cisco Oil's statue?
Well, the Cisco statue should be in New Orleans, but the Avery Brooks statue would have to be in Indiana, where he's from, I think. Right?
Okay.
Right. I think he lives in New
Janeway
Jersey.
has an actual statue?
Oh, you didn't see?
Yeah.
didn't
They
know
actually they unveiled a statue and she
Future.
appeared via Zoom.
Yeah, the future
Oh.
Catherine Janeway birthplace, 2345 or something.
So they did one. So Kirk has one. I don't think. Well, I don't. Labar France, I don't think has said one for Picard yet. But now
France
they'll
is
do
like,
a
you know,
France is like, fuck you guys. We're not doing that.
America with the TV show.
Picard.
He doesn't even speak French.
So we should go and
Yeah,
protein.
it'd be like, is he actually French? No? Then fuck him. Like,
no, it's Patrick Stewart pretending not even really well.
We should go to Janeway's statue and put protest justice for Tuvix.
Yeah, we're just gonna paint it green for
Poor Tuvix.
I presume that Tuvix had green blood.
He
Just to
did.
deface it, yeah. Just the justice for Tuvix.
Tuvix,
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
You know,
It will. If it's going-
that wasn't the first person she murdered too. She did some murdering.
That was
on
pretty.
show.
That was pretty. Like that was the most cold.
Yeah,
though.
no one's gonna be like justice for Harry Kim won.
No,
Very
because
good.
okay, in Star Trek
Um,
Online, they brought him back.
Yes.
They
and he's mangled.
yeah, they brought
But
him back.
is
as
that
Kabbalah.
canon though? Is that canon?
No,
Oh, wait, Dave, are you saying that's not canon?
not canon.
Jeff, what do you have any feelings towards that?
I don't care, but I like to think that sure he could have been a Kabali. Why not?
Here are the rules. It could have been. I would like if they made some of that stuff canon, or if they tried to do it in the.
So if they do it in lower decks, then it's canon.
yes, anything that's a TV show is canon. Anything that's a movie is canon.
It's ridiculous.
Can we remove Picard though? Like, come
No.
on.
It's canon. Even Enterprise.
No,
Enterprise, I don't mind it being canon, and I don't mind even Discovery, but Picard just shits on everything that I love.
Even this shit Deep Space Nine episode that we watched tonight. This is canon. This happened. He almost. I don't know.
but
What
Right, because
consequences
nobody
are in
cares.
this episode?
It doesn't matter. The episode. Who cares? It was like just that was what happened that week on the station.
Sure, the episode happened, but nothing actually happened.
Well, a guy
there's
died.
nothing to write into.
A guy
Okay,
died
or-
because he couldn't get a
Guys,
divorce.
a guy flew.
No,
shuttle
a guy died
into-
because he accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish.
He's like,
Yeah.
dude
Kinda
finishes autobiography except one paragraph.
I mean, we're bringing the lead here. I mean, a guy flew a shuttle into a dying star to make it become a
And nobody
living,
cared.
and nobody
Dude
cared.
killed
Not even
himself and
Cisco.
destroyed
He
Starfleet
seemed all
property in the
relieved.
process.
All of the bridge crew, many of them weren't even watching. They were just sitting
No.
at their chairs when doing their job when he died. They're like, they didn't even turn around to look.
Right.
There
if
was
that
no
They were busy playing with their phones. They were like,
But if
Oh,
that
wait,
had-
sorry.
If that had been a big character, everybody would have stopped, and it would have been a big moment on the bridge, and music would have swelled.
Yeah.
But,
He disabled the tractor beam. He manipulated Starfleet property, stole a shuttlecraft, destroyed it. Right? The dude should be, reprimanded to the nth degree.
But couldn't you see a guy like that Setlick, this guy who killed himself, being a lower decks character?
Yes, everyone could be a lower decks character.
But specifically this guy, like you could almost take him exactly as he was in this episode and throw him into the cartoon. He doesn't have to be a cartoon. He can just
yeah, he was
and they-
over the top, and the actor that played him was excellent. Like, this is
Yeah.
the only bright spot of
the
the
episode.
episode is this character.
But what about
you-
his hostility? His hostility towards the what was her name? The one he was in love with?
Nadell?
Adele. No, Adele
Nadell.
was the
Nadell.
real one, but the fake one was
Nadell.
called Fenna, right? Fenna, with
Okay.
like
Sally Richardson Whitfield, guys. How do you not know?
Adele.
Nadell.
Jesus.
It looked like a movie. Talk like a song.
And the sky fall and it tumbles.
Oh, I haven't found someone like you.
This is an episode to remember. This podcast episode. Can we talk about Quark trying to
Sure.
cozy up to Cisco and saying,
yeah.
I got rejected. You got stood up. It's okay. Come to the bar. Let's talk. Hey, at the end of it, holosuites are open, bro.
Right.
I think if
And
I
that's
lived
how
on the
that-
station, Quark would be my best friend. I feel like he would just be like, "Hey, you having a bad day, Dave? Come in here, free drink." He'll give you like the first drink for free, and then he'll probably say, I can't, first drink's free," and then you buy like 10 more, right? So it's because I think that's just, go use the hollow suite, and then or go use.
Yeah, he definitely saw an opportunity to make some money from Cisco and
sadness,
some
rejection.
influence, and he tried to take it.
Yeah,
Does
get a
Dax
good-
use the hollow suites?
Oh yeah.
She doesn't need to.
True. She doesn't need to, but
She still does.
I think
She's
she has
still-
her training program with her bat lefts, right? She like
That's
still does
not
her.
what we're talking about.
that's not what we're talking about, Dave.
I bet you like people invite her to the hollow suites for
Bet she does.
and she might get in on that action. I would love the Deep Space Nine like look back if there was some kind of time travel angle to kind of figure out what was going on really during behind the scenes, like a trial and tribulations where you get more of a sense of who these characters were and what was going on during these time periods in the greater story. But we'll see.
Cisco moping around, slowly walking. Like his walking in the promenade was awkward. Like he's like, I'm supposed to walk slowly, but I can't. So I'm just gonna kind of walk with like a constrained shimmy. Like it was
Yeah.
very.
He was almost this entire episode almost a different person. Like just totally different, not Cisco at all. It was like he was high.
I think he's high, like me. I know.
Even Jake's like, bro, you got it bad, man.
Yeah, Jake's like, "What's up, Dad? Are you okay?"
His son, his 14-year-old son, is like, what's up with you?
It's like
Yeah.
even like Nog has you figured out already.
Yeah,
Taking
he's like,
it-
yeah, you're not eating, you're smiling, and what was the other one?
You're
daydreaming?
distracted or something. Yeah,
distracted.
daydreaming. Yeah.
I was like, I guess that tracks. Yeah, the rest of this was shit, Jeff.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Fun facts, though. Give me some fun facts.
Yeah, fun facts might cheer you up.
No.
Time for some fun facts. Fun
facts,
facts.
fun
with
facts,
Jeff. Okay,
Was that Adele's version of Fun Facts?
that was Adele. And the fun
Adele or Nadell?
facts with Jeff. Okay. Mark Garrett O'Connell's original pitch for this episode involved Bashir meeting a mysterious woman who keeps disappearing. He goes to his colleagues for aid in tracking her down, but he discovers that no one aboard the station has ever seen her except himself. And as such, he has to unravel the mystery alone, as his crewmates begin to think he's imagining the whole thing. Bashir ultimately discovers that the woman is in fact a projection by a woman who is abused by her husband. This original version of the story was more of an adventure mystery than a romance.
That's why this episode sucks. It was originally written for Bashir, and they tried to make it a Cisco episode.
That's right.
This was for Bashir.
Yes, it was written originally for Bashir.
And what does he
According
get?
to
He gets
Robert-
one line.
Wow,
one
this is
line.
annoying. I was quite
they-
charming.
One line, and then they're all just annoyed with him, and that's it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're not working out here.
That's a
Bashir.
great Bashir episode.
According to Robert Hewitt Wolf, Sayatic's terraforming technology is based upon the Genesis device as seen in Star Trek II, the Rathacon.
Okay.
And Sayatic was based on director John Huston.
Oh,
So-
the father of Danny and the other Houston, Angelica Houston.
Angelica. Okay. This episode takes place on the 4th anniversary of the Battle of Wolf 359, although the start date of this episode does not correspond to the anniversary.
Sloppy
there-
on the star dates. That's
There's
what
your Dave. There's your cannon going right out the window.
well, Jeff, we don't really know how the star dates work exactly because I think it's important to state that there's different sectors here, different quadrants, that there could be different space-time ratios based on just how they measure days. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. This episode marks the first appearance of a USS Prometheus in Star Trek. Although the exterior ship clearly shows it incorporates components from the Galaxy class, not a single piece of any standing set from the Next Generation appeared. The wall outside Sayatic's quarters is a single length of stock Starfleet wall built specifically for DS9 scenes. Sayatic's quarters are a brand new set built from the remains of the runabout aft section seen in TNG Timescape, and the bridge is a redress of the USS Excelsior bridge set from Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, combining its forward and aft walls. This smaller starship bridge would continue to be seen throughout the series as the bridge of various ships, both Federation and not. It would later appear in DS9, the Jem'Hadar, as the bridge of the USS Odyssey. They used the hell out of that bridge. Okay.
All right.
The scientist's mission in this episode is to reignite a star. The starship he's assigned to is named the USS Prometheus, named for the god who stole fire and gave it to the humanity in Greek mythology.
How clever.
This is the first episode of the series to be directed by Alexander Singer.
And hopefully the last.
No, he does more.
Yeah. The dress worn by Fenna is reused and worn by Antonia in Star Trek Generations, and Leosa, Barclay's seducer in Voyager Inside Man.
It's the harlot dress.
Yeah, this is the dress they give to the Hussies. Yeah.
I
Told you
thought you were going to
Cisco
say
has a type.
Apollonia was also worn by Apollonia.
Yeah. Why don't you cleanse yourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
You're able to pull that pretty quickly. That's pretty good.
The poem referenced by both Sayatek and Cisco is referred to as the Fall of Kang, and it is implied that the poem is about Kang's last great battle. However, 10 episodes later, in Blood Oath, Kang turns up on DS9 alive and well.
Yeah.
Canon, love it.
So he didn't die, and this guy died because he thought he died?
He's like, wait, bro didn't die?
Yeah. Did I misinterpret the
Yeah,
poem?
and then he said, actually, this is about a different Kang, this poem. Not that Kang.
There's more than one Kang, please.
Kang and Kronos, right?
Yeah.
Sayatek's last words, guys. Remember this on that part where he's like, "Let there be light."
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say it was sacrificed on the altar of science, I think is what he said, or something.
When he goes, yeah, right before he dies, he says, "Let there be light." Comes from Genesis 1, verse 3 of the Bible.
That's a very fun fact. He should have said, "Boom goes the dynamite."
Go warp time.
This takes place in 2370.
Wow, fun fact.
And my favorite fun fact of all. This episode is not a favorite of Ira Stephen Bear.
Or anyone else.
Or anyone else who watched it.
It was not a favorite of ours, but let's get more specific about that as we rate the episode here in a more quantifiable state. Kevin,
You want to rate it? Ashley's here. She's going to rate it too.
okay, Ashley, we were just in
We
time.
get a lady's opinion. Finally,
Yes. Was Avery Brooks suave?
I don't know. I guess so, since everybody's quiet now.
4.5.
Okay, Kevin, your turn.
I'm going to give this a 1.
Okay. Jaemeel.
I'm gonna give it 3.5.
Okay. F.
3.
Okay. I just want to see what my other ratings have been.
Don't be results oriented, Dave.
Terrible rating it in the highest.
I'm going with 1.5.
You really didn't like it, eh?
It's not good.
We all generally agree that this might be the worst episode of D69 when we look back.
I think it will be. Jeff, it has a 2.7. Nothing else has come even remotely close to that. Like
Even bad episodes.
Yeah.
There's some. We're stalled right now. Ashley's rewatching it, and we're stalled in season 7 because there's some really bad episodes in season 7.
It's tied with Vortex.
All the Esri episodes that you can enjoy.
That's the last one we watched. Is the
where she goes home.
where she goes home,
Ugh.
and they have to find Orion, and it's another Orion Syndicate one.
Oh, that's
Right.
a bad one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
maybe
terrible.
one day we will hit the depths of this 2.7, a 6.3 on IMDb, which I think is way too high, but nothing's
Way
ever
too
low.
high.
And so that goes out at a 4.5, which even on our combined average is still well below anything else we've done. Maybe a 5.7 here with the Passenger or.
It makes sense when you say that this was originally written for Bashir because Sisko's acting like Bashir the entire time. Like
He is.
it's not even his character.
Yeah, maybe that's why the episode just feels so out of place. And
We need to
you
ask
know.
Ashley more details about the perspective of this episode.
Yes.
Do you remember this episode, Ashley?
It feels weird to me that on the anniversary of his wife's death, where the first part of the episode, the very first, like before the thing, he's talking about how he can't sleep. Him and Jake are talking, and he's like, "It's the anniversary of my wife's death," and then he's like romancing someone.
he's thirsty.
Remember, he didn't romance her. He had a couple lines. She kind of picked him up.
She did, but he accepted.
He was feeling lonely and vulnerable and very Bashir-like.
I guess.
Bashir's watching Dax just hook up constantly, and he's like, "Why not me?"
It's true. Yeah, guys, this may be the low point of the series, of the entire series. I don't know.
Last
there's
episode was
probably a
pretty good. Last episode
There's
was
probably
good.
a worse episode.
Yeah, it was
I think
pretty
there's going to be one we all dislike more.
We gave last week. Oh, sorry, are you there? Yeah. So we gave
We're here.
last week an 8.2, and this was a 2.7. This was a huge drop. If this was a graph, it would have been. If you can understand.
Yes, I understand your sound effect and pointing.
This is great. This is great. I love this energy.
Yeah, we're professionals here.
This has been a very fun episode of this podcast.
Yeah, way more fun.
More Dell singing.
than-
Something about you.
Yeah, I am going to be a widow. My planet. We project people.
And the Cisco.
And
So-
it's just-
Ashley, she's basically going home to be a widow.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's sad at the end of the episode, where it's like, you were in love with this woman, which they weren't in love, and and he's like, sorry, I can't feel the love that she had for you. How was she? Like, who was she? Like, what was she like? She's just like you. Turns around and leaves. Just straight up. Doesn't even answer. Doesn't say goodbye. Just like, well, this is the end of our conversation. I don't want to hear that.
Well, he made it creepy like Bashir would.
Yeah.
Yes. Like he was making a pass at her, like what I had with Fenna, I could have with you. She's just like you.
Yeah,
They were no way
Yeah.
the same person.
Not
Like,
even.
And what does she do? She just kind of goes, okay, and then walks away.
Well, walks away really slowly and weirdly.
Yeah.
Like,
And like it almost like wanted her butt in the shot, like because like
yes,
it
exactly.
literally like it walks right into the middle of like the frame, and it's just her butt walking away. And it's
That,
just like,
that dress was made. That dress was made for a specific reason,
Yeah.
and they made sure that when she was coming and when she was leaving, that was on display.
was she
Yeah.
the first one who got to wear
The
that dress?
director went to the end of the episode and went, "I'm sorry about this. Here's butt."
Oh my gosh! Are you saying was there another hussy that wore that same dress later on?
I know Jeff said in his fun facts, which you said were not that fun, but like I said that.
yeah, if you've been paying attention in fun facts, Jaemeel.
Bro,
Yeah.
the red dress is the hussy dress. I'm talking about this other dress.
What the Adele dress?
There's
The
she's in
Adele dress?
Nadell, Dave. Nadell.
Adele, Nadal, whatever. It's,
Dude.
It's not like it's a real name,
Well,
so who
man,
cares?
Fictional characters, Dave.
These are fictional characters.
Fictional.
Okay, I think that this would make a great radio theater script, by the way, and because it's a terrible episode, and I think that if Nedell was actually just done it as a musical character in the voice of Adele, I think it would make this
I want a
incredibly
Cockney
funny.
accent Adele.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
You know what? We could do that. Jessica has been wanting to sing an episode.
Yeah, so we're like, this is the one we should do when we get to Deep Space Nine, especially season 2.
Yeah, so
Uh,
Dave, remember in Generations, Star Trek Generations, Antonia, Kirk's wife?
Yeah,
They barely show her. She's wearing this dress.
but
A hussy dress.
she's like up on the horse.
But
Oh.
she's wearing the dress.
She's up on the
And,
horse
then-
up on the hill. We barely you can. It's like
It
you
was a
see-
metaphor, Dave.
Very good horse riding attire.
Yeah.
It's a
Isn't it
metaphor,
funny
Dave.
though? It's another. But it's kind of funny that all three, the Barclays, Seducer, and Voyager Inside Man too, all three are kind of like this. Like not. It's not what it seems to be. Like like Antonia is not real. Neither is Fen is not real. And then Barclay Seducer is like just have to like rob him.
Yeah, she's
So,
also a misdirect. So they're saying that
Yeah.
the red dress is some kind
red
of
dress.
a red herring.
It's a red herring for betrayal, or just like a dream sequence or like something that's not like what it seems to be.
They saw the woman in red and they're like, the woman in red.
Lady in red, dancing with me. Cheek to cheek.
We're going to get striked on YouTube.
No, we won't. It will not recognize that as music.
They're gonna give us a strike. They're gonna give us a strike back. They're gonna see this and they're gonna give us
you
a
know
strike
what?
back.
As long as you don't
keep-
do that again, we'll give you the strike back. It's all right.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
for other reasons, not because we were gonna get sued.
But this has been Deep Space 9 I mean, we've been talking about this episode. Do we have anything else? Is there anything else you did get to say? It's been on your tip of your tongue.
Well, what's next week?
Well, okay. Well,
Not this.
I wasn't
Not this.
prepared for that, Dave.
I have the answer, Jeff.
10 is next week.
Next week is Sanctuary,
The refugee episode.
a race that has been conquered twice over. One of the two conquerors, being the mysterious Dominion, comes to the station seeking aid and a new home.
Right. It's got Walter Koenig's son.
Andrew.
Are these the ones that want to settle on Bajor?
Yeah, and they got all the weird little smallpox things on their
yeah.
face.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The enthusiasm is just too strong.
Is it as good as when O'Brien had to be a Bajoran prophet and then like
And they had
Oh
to
my
do
God.
that fight sequence in the
in the sky? Yeah.
It's a good. It's a good episode in terms of it. Like it says an important. It has an important message and metaphor and a real issue to it. So
It's definitely better than
Okay.
this.
Is that our election special episode?
that will be our election special. While we'll figure it out if we're going to hell or not in the next 4 years. We will be talking about.
I'm not going to hell.
I know, but if the world, if somebody gets reelected,
You say if someone is going to be reelected. How many people have the opportunity to get reelected?
all right.
One, dude. So you might as well just say the name. Like, if someone.
I don't want to be biased.
Oh,
Did you know what bias means?
you keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means.
I don't want to be. I don't. Maybe I don't.
Okay. So are we good? Have we said everything we wanted to say? All right.
good.
For all of us here at Live Long and Podcast and Deep Space 9 at 9, be sure to catch up on our regularly scheduled events coming up this
Can
week.
Dave do the
We have-
rundown of various episodes, various other podcasts that we're involved with? Dave, I would love to hear you do the spiel.
Well, thank you, Jaemeel, for asking. Yeah, we got a lot of great things coming at you here on Live Long and Podcast this week. Yeah, tomorrow night we will have our original series with our dad Ted and Jeff and Jody and Adam, 7:00 tomorrow, because this was not as good as the original series. He will tell you, Deep Space Nine. He's going to be bringing it to you. And then on Thursday, we're going to be talking about Star Trek Discovery, the 3rd episode of season 3. Jaemeel, you will be joining in for that, I believe, right?
Am I? Okay.
I thought you were. I don't know. Are you? I don't know. It's up to you. But we have our crew, and you're welcome to join now that that Big Brother is going to be ending. Speaking of, well, actually, and just one last thing on Live Long and Podcast. Friday night, we're going to be doing Star Trek Radio Theater. We're going to be doing the episode. What's it called? I always want. Is it Transfigurations?
Transfigurations, yeah.
Transfigurations. It's the episode where Beverly Crusher turns, brings a man back to life, and then he turns into sort of a Jesus by the end. It's kind of interesting. And yeah, like
a zombie, a Jesus.
Like like a space Jesus, like whatever, a space Messiah.
I love how you just keep the but not as good as the original series up for this entire spiel.
This is the whole spiel. And also we're going to be having trivial debates coming this weekend. Oh, I got to take somebody off here.
Take me off.
Yeah, we're going to be doing trivial debates this Saturday with Jane hosting, and we're going to have the return of Jerry McCrae as he is coming back since episode 1, season 1 of Trivial Debate. So this is a 44 episode absence from the show. His probation is over, and he's going to be back and joining longtime contestant Chris Seymour, who's searching for his
Washington Generals of Trivial Debate.
And Jeff Mader, who's going to be also competing. You know him from this show here. We call it D Space 9 at 9 or 9-ish. So check that out on whatever night we're doing it.
Friday, dude.
Friday. And Jeff, did you know we do this other one called Super Mader Brothers Podcasting with Jaemeel, where we cover? Yes, I know. And somehow after tomorrow night, after we do original series, we're going to be doing that as we cover the finale, and we are finally going to be done that season.
Tell me more.
You want to hear about the finale of Big Brother? It is the final 3 tomorrow, Jeff. We got Cody, Nicole Franzel, and we got Enzo. Who knows who might win? Who knows?
That's what I'm saying.
We might hear there's so many different scenarios we might hear tomorrow. Not to mention one of which could be.
Congratulations, Cody.
So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Mark my words.
And correction, Trivial Debates is on Saturday. I was wrong. I apologize, Dave.
Saturday afternoon, yeah.
Saturday afternoon. That's what I said, right?
No.
You said Friday, but it's Saturday afternoon.
Okay. Who can keep these things straight? Okay. So
I can.
Yeah, pretty almost everybody but you.
Jeff, do you want me to turn off the record yet?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
good.
Good night, everyone.